Hey guys, welcome back to Ranger Survival and Fieldcraft. I'm Andrew, and what I have for you today is how to make a survival JetBoil with household items using electricity. Stand by. Alright, first things first, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Hope you're having a safe, happy holiday. Decided to do this short video. We're out here on the farm for the week doing some hunting and some trapping. We're going after beaver, raccoon, coyote, rabbits, and we're going to do some deer hunting as well. But I wanted to demonstrate a technique for urban survival or even out here in the rural areas to boil water in a container that could be damaged if we put it over a fire, or if we're unable to get a fire going, or if we have to use this stealthily and avoid detection. We can still treat water to make it safe to drink and even cook in this, as well as make a hot drink for survival. So this technique I'm about to show you is great for urban survival. It's great for any built-up area, and it is especially good for stealth scenarios when we have to get that hot water and that drink to survive. Now the first items we're going to need is some sort of water container. We have this plastic bucket right here. This is pretty strong material, thick material, so it's going to work great for our purposes. And then what we're going to need, obviously, our water that we want to treat to make safe to drink. An important note is that this container has to be plastic, has to be non-conductive, because we're going to be using electricity. Next, we're going to need 2 pieces of metal. In this case, we have 2 metal shower drain covers. These are things that prisoners might be able to get. This technique we're showing today is something called a stinger. We need those metal pieces to act as conductors, and we're going to use these to actually heat up the water. We're going to need just some rubber washers or any piece of material that's not going to conduct electricity. So we could use wood, we could potentially use plastic, but rubber is going to be the best, and it's going to go in between our 2 metal shower drains. Next, we're going to need some rubber bands or any type of non-conductive material that we can use to hold those shower drain covers together with those rubber washers to keep them tight and together and not lose them in the water as we go for a boil. And then lastly, we need some sort of extension cord. This is just a cheap extension cord bought off the shelf at a dollar store. We've already stripped the wires at one end. We still have the male end right here that's going to go into the wall, and then we have just the wires stripped of the rubber, and we've taken off the female end right here, and this is what we're going to use to wrap around our shower drain covers. Alright, so to assemble this, we've got our power cord with the ends stripped 3 or 4 inches or so on both. We're going to grab 2 drain covers. We're going to grab that first one, and we're going to put the wire through the grate, fold it over, and then twist and make sure we wrap this as tight as possible. And what we're going to do, the same thing on the second one. Alright, once we have our wires hooked up, now we can grab those rubber washers, and we're just going to place them right on top, spread out of our first shower drain cover. And then we're just going to take the other one and flip it right over. And the important thing to note with this is that our wires are not touching, and we don't want any of the metal back here touching as well. Now that we have this ready to go, we're going to grab our rubber bands, again another non-conducting material, and we're just going to wrap them around. Everything's nice and tight, and this is our finished product. And this is the most important part. When we lay this in the water, we need to lay it in the water first before we plug it in. If we plug it in right now, we're going to pop a socket and the lights are going to go out and we could potentially hurt ourselves. We need to submerge this in the water first before we actually plug it in and get ready for a boil. Now we're going to plug this in. Our extension cord is already plugged in the wall. As soon as we plug this in, it's going to start fizzing, and it should be boiling within just a few minutes. Ready? There it goes. Alright, so we've got bubbles going right now, and it's going to boil here in the next few minutes. What's happening is that electric current is coming from our wire, touching our metal drain covers that are separated by that non-conductive material, the rubber, and then held together by those rubber bands, also non-conductive. What's happening is the current is being completed with the metal strainers, but because of that small gap in between the metal itself, we're actually taking advantage of the current as it passes in between those metal strainers through the water. And so the heat energy from the electricity is actually being transferred into the water, and that's how we're getting that boil technique. And so our water should be boiled here within the next couple minutes. All right, you can see we've got bubbles forming, and we're almost to a rolling boil. Very warm, obviously, putting my hand over top. Got a lot of steam touching the side. Very, very hot. Can only keep my finger there for a second or two. And as you can see, we're boiling inside this container safely to treat water. We want to do this a time or 2 or 3 to get all that stuff burned off so we don't have any more of the sludge forming, and then we just have that clear water inside, treating it by boiling it to make it safe to drink. All right, so it's been boiling for a few minutes. Now, when we put this in and started everything, we put the stinger or our survival JetBoil in the water first and then plugged it in. Same is true when we turn it off. We need to unplug it first before taking it out of the water. So now we unplug and it'll shut off immediately. And then we can actually remove it now and lay it off to the side. And then our water is successfully boiled. Alright guys, a very simple video, down and dirty, on how to make a survival JetBoil using just some household items, electricity, and especially without the use of fire or a container to put over a fire, or without having other methods to actually boil and treat that water to make it safe to drink. I hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you guys for what you can do for me, for this channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.